What's up today, guys? So today, this is going to be a very short video. I tore down the KD175 again. It's become kind of a yearly ritual at this point, and not able to actually ride it. I put a lot of money into it and time, and it just doesn't ever work out. However, each time I try to improve it just a little bit, and hopefully eventually it'll be done. So upon teardown, the first problem I ran into, because we all know I have a vacuum leak if you watch the other videos. If not, go back and check those out. The little spring in here actually was not, it was partially out. So could that be causing part of my vacuum leak? Maybe. Not quite sure. But probably wasn't helping. What else do we got here? So when I fired it up, I had two issues. One, I had a vacuum leak, and two, I could hear a bearing whirling. Which bearing that was, I'm not sure. That one doesn't sound bad. I haven't went through and checked them. At this point, it's kind of a moot point for me because I plan to replace them, all but this transmission one. And it's probably good. That'll be my luck, now that I'm thinking of it. That one sounds good. It's probably that transmission one. This one over here. I wouldn't be surprised. But that would be my luck. That I'm not replacing that one, and that's the one that's giving me the noise. If that is, well, hopefully it'll clear out. That's a terrible way of looking at it, but that's where we are at the moment. So, I had a vacuum leak. And that was probably the biggest issue I had besides the bearing. I would have probably chanced it with the bearing and hope it cleared out. I kind of wonder if I get brass shavings in here. This one kind of has a tight spot, so it could have been this one, because it doesn't seem like it wants to. See, it stops right there. Yeah, see, it's stopping. It was probably this bearing. Now, I get brass shavings in there because I use a brass drift. I don't have it up here. It's up on the other table when I install the bearings. And I try to clean them out the best I can. But I also had a vacuum leak, which I have said a couple times now. So my plan was I could TIG this up or smash some weld rod in here. But I measured them, and the holes are 0.201. Which, if you're a machinist or you tap a lot of holes, you will know that is number F drill bit, which number F drill bit is 1/4-20. Well, fortunately, I had a 1/4-20 tap from the 47 GMC, which is a video you should check out as well, of me working on that. I haven't, in the video that's out, by the time this video gets out, I will not have worked on it to use that tap. So, I bought some 1/4-20 aluminum screws, and I started off with a little short one. I hacksawed it off, made a little slit in it so I could use a screwdriver to get it in and out, and then I use this as a gauge to make ones that are fairly close to where they need to be, and still fit in here. Now I'm going to do two things now that it's in here. Try not to push that transmission out. And I had to do a lot of cleanup, with the dye I've had from making the vise handle, which you could check that video out, and of course my file and whatnot. I also have some Loctite 592 thread sealer, which is automotive grade for fuel fittings, oil and coolant lines, brake and steering fittings. Prevents leakage in threads. Threaded metal fittings up to 400 degrees, which I don't think this will get over 400 degrees. I guess we'll see. So I'm going to put this on here, and hopefully this will seal. I don't know what the set time is on this. Simple parts, 3/4 electric. Not recommended for on rubber or plastic. Well, we're not using rubber or plastic. It doesn't really have a set time. So I'll put this on. And then I'm going to go ahead and peen the inside That way it won't come in. If it's going to go anyway, it'll go out if it vibrates out. And if it vibrates out, it's going to get stopped by the actual plug that's going to be in there, the pump. So hopefully that'll take care of all the issues there. That's about really all I've found so far in my teardown. My, I think, third or fourth teardown at this point. I'm not even keeping track. I'll put these little guys up. Hopefully this will solve it and we can race it this year, because it'd be really nice to do that for once. Otherwise I'll have to ride the trials bike again. I actually haven't. It's mid-March and I have not rode a bike yet. Been kind of busy. So anyways, I'm going to continue on putting this all back together. Hopefully I get the bearings out tonight and then get new ones put in tonight, and then tomorrow I will probably paint the case here with I think I got Yama Bond. I usually use Yama Bond. Hopefully I still have some and I don't have to buy any, because that's going to put me behind. Not that that's going to be a big, yeah, I got Yama Bond number 5. Shouldn't put me behind. My goal was to have it rebuilt this weekend. I actually bought enough parts. I bought 3 gasket sets, and I bought all the replacement parts to do 2 motors, because I figure if this one doesn't work, I'm just going to go to the other one that I have and try to rebuild that. Because I need a mental break from this, to be honest. I'm joking about that. But it is getting very frustrating of not being able to get where you want to be. And it's a constant battle. It is a little bit of a black hole, I guess. Not really. That's not really a black hole, but it is a black hole for money, I'll tell you that. Anyways, so that's just a little update. I got the forks done. I don't know when that video will come out, but I made a tool for that, so I'll do a video for the brake tool. And then I will probably have a wrap-up video of hopefully this thing firing up, or at least it blasting out of the shed or something. That'd be pretty cool. Yeah, let's I guess it's kind of semi-channel update. I could talk about, got some other projects along the lines here. Hopefully we can get to work on some other people's projects at some point. I've been hoping to do a ride with some buddies, but we'll see how that turns out. I got to get my CL200 back together. If you haven't checked out that video, you might as well check that videos out too. So continuing on my KD175 update video here, I realized these front forks are flipped around. Meaning my brake setup should be on the other side. And I've been looking through my pictures, and it's been like that since I was a little kid. I mean, you look at that Kawasaki, and you look at that Kawasaki, they're all on that side. So someone's put the forks on backwards on this bike for some reason. And I only found that out after I tried. I messed up and put the clutch on the wrong side. I flipped the brake and clutch levers around, and when I at some point, either that or it was like that, and I just went back to the way it was. The front brake doesn't actuate worth a darn now. It almost gets stuck because there's too tight of a bend. And then I went to look and I realized something ain't right. Same thing with the clutch cable. I have to do a little bit different routing for that. Engine's back in the bike. Bike runs, but it is a dog. I don't know if I've loaded it up with too much oil when I reassembled it, because I did oil up the bearings to make sure everything was lubed. No longer have a bearing howl, so I got that taken care of. It'll rev up just like mid-range and then just bleh. So I'll have a ride video here shortly, because I think I'm just going to try to heat cycle it a little bit. I also need to figure out what I'm going to do. I tried to buy some spark plugs, can't get those. So, and the tailpipe does smoke forever. So there is oil in there. I don't know if I'm over injecting it. I need to finite tune the pump. What else do we have going on with this bad boy? I'm gonna have to fix this at some point. Again, I got the new shocks. I got the shocks rebuilt. In one of the previous videos, you saw the tools I used. Basically, these would be I got from Klaus Rubbers. Everything else I was able to pick from eBay and Rocky Mountain ATV. So that covers that. What else do we have going on with the KD? That's about it. I'm going to have to get a new throttle cable for it because mine's kind of kinked. I pinched it in the handlebars, so that's not very cool. It's kind of a problem I've had in the past with it. This gets kinked in here, and then it kind of doesn't work. Let's put it this way. Both of my hands are down here. Now it's stuck open. So that's going to have to be fixed. So you see, I still get a little bit of air bubbles in here. I might have to snug that up. We all know that's a rebuilt pump, so it worked last time. I got new coil. I can still find this, luckily. So I bought new rear sprocket, and I noticed my rear hub's a little loose, so I got to figure that all out. But all in all, it's kind of coming together. It runs. We're better. We're closer than we were last year for sure. Yeah, let's. I'll just keep trucking with it. And that's kind of the video where the KD175 is. I'm going to have a riding video here shortly, so be ready for that. Well, here we are. Got the bike. Don't have a kill switch set up on it, and I'm running open element right now. Give it a little choke. Haven't started it today, so you guys are going to witness my ability to figure out a carburetor. Obviously not very good, huh? Oh, Jiminy Christmas. It fired up well yesterday. Choke back up. I have a little clip for this. I just haven't put it back on. Okay, choke is up. There we go. So it does run and idle. Let it bleed through that bubble real quick. It does rev up, but it doesn't rev up very high or well. Alright, here we go. And we're off. That's it. That is all she has. I'm pretty sure it's running a little ridge. Exhaust just I don't know if I'm loading up. I ain't getting some bubbles. starting to run better. Looks like I'll be walking home a ways. So after looking at this, I'm not getting air bubbles down here, and it's wet up here. I'm beginning to wonder if I got a nick in this. I do right there. Right there. You both can see it now. That's why I'm getting air bubbles in this system. Now I think the bike's running pretty rich. So I'm gonna have to do some tuning on it. Maybe, I can't remember what I've done to this to get it to this point. I might swap the other carburetor on it, see what happens. I thought I just had oil down here, jumping on another note, down here because of issues with when I bled this all. But I've now realized I'm getting air bubbles in the system, which is, I'm glad I caught it now with this whole system off, this side off. That's kind of disheartening. Rear brakes work good. I am rubbing here on the frame, but I think the wheel's a little twisted. I've also got a little bit of shimmy back here with this, so I'm gonna have to look into that a little bit. I don't know where this black oil goop's coming from. Oh, it's the exhaust. Duh. Dripping down. So, seat's not all the way forward. Well, let's get it back home, and I'm going to wrap the video up here probably, because, well, kind of got a little bit better idea of what's going on. Gas tank leaks a little bit still, so we got problems, but I mean, the bike runs, it doesn't have the vacuum leak anymore, so everything now almost looks like I got, that could just be oil from there. Hopefully it's not that sheet seal. I didn't replace that, but I can replace that fairly easy. I've went through a couple quarts of oil on all this, so I really want to run this bike this year. Put a lot of money into it, so it rides, kind of. So I think I'm going to wrap most of the video up here. I wasn't going to videotape much of this, but I figured I would. Since I'm out here, the new forks are actually just a hair longer now. Granted, at the top end here, the old forks were up, what was that? Not even a quarter inch, maybe 3/16 of an inch to the bottom of the plug, and I am putting them flush. I'm kind of curious how those are going to ride. The reason I'm videotaping is this, because I had to go back inside and figure out where this clamp goes exactly, and it is for the brake cable. I need to move it back over here, which kind of sucks, but that's fine. I can loosen this, spin it out. Just got to get it off the top of the tree, get it back in. You can see the cable issue I ran into earlier. I got to figure out my routing. I think I don't know. This needs to be routed different, and I need to get this stuff a little routed a little different too. So I got the new forks on. They look pretty good. Didn't fix my issue of the handlebars being one way, or being straight, and the tire being crooked. It looks like it's actually offset a little bit. I think I'm gonna have to get a new axle on this, because to be honest, one side's snug and the other side's pretty loose. Having to contend with the wind today, roosters, and agricultural tractors. A lot of planting today, even though we've got big wind. I'm not sure what's up with that, but that's none of my business. I'm focusing on my Cowie today. So I also readjusted the throttle cable, even though it's pinched, because I was looking at the factory and they have it pointed up darn near straight up and down, and I think I'm going to run that route. I got a new cable ordered. It is on its, well, I ordered it today, so hopefully it'll be on its way. I'll probably run it with this the tire crooked like this. Hopefully we don't run into issues. I checked the compression. I think I already talked about that. It was at 65, but I did that cold. Manual says to warm it up. Once it's warm, compression test it. I also don't know if the compression tester's any good. I was going to check it against the trials bike, because we know that has good compression. So yeah, it's kind of where we're at the moment. Not sure where I'll go forward. I checked my other cylinder. I believe it is standard bore. It's got a little rough spot down at the bottom, so I'm going to try to hone it, because it is actually tighter on the, I think it was tighter on the bottom than it was on the top. So that'll work out good, because I can flex hone it a little bit, and I can throw a standard piston and rings in there, and hopefully, if I am low compression, and it's just not, the rings aren't quite seated yet. We can knock that out of the park. Another thing I noticed in my mess of carburetors, I have a 102.5 and a 97.5 for these jets down here. I don't remember which of these carburetors came off of which. The one that was just recently on it was this one with the flex tube that I need. But I don't remember which one was which. I had to buy a new carburetor gasket because I think I've been using the same one for both. But I don't remember which, as I said just a second ago, I don't remember which carburetor was on this bike, so I don't know which jetting I actually need. May have to look into seeing if I could find some more of these. I don't know how hard it is. Could be easy, could be hard. It's up for grabs on that one. So that is about it. I did get a new shifter for it. No, I do have a new shifter for it. It's in here somewhere. Right there. Maybe it's still downstairs. I can't remember. So I got too many parts laying around. I think I'm going to end the KD video here. Thanks for watching. Hopefully I'll have another update of the KD actually running. So stay tuned for that. Running and riding. Maybe we can get a little bit more out of it, have some fun with it. Stay tuned for that. I got to fix the throttle cable and we'll kind of see what's going on from there. Thanks for watching.